Hi everyone, this is Cyber here. I'm here today to bring you a big update about Hide or Die. This update is called the Overhaul. So in this update, you have been waiting for a huge breakdown of the changes that made the Hide or Die over the past 5 months. Some updates are mostly for backers, but there are a lot other changes. These changes are directly results to the feedback from our last beta phase. Beta phase 1 and 1.5 testing. Some of these received feedbacks we got was the following. We get the chance to play as Hunter once, never got to play at all, feels random chances to become the Hunter, last man standing game mode, made it difficult to play with friends if they didn't die right away. Survivors are 100% helpless against the Hunter. Not enough time to explore the environment and collect items and supplies. If I die right away, I have to go back to the menu, matchmake, and wait for lobbies to fill up. If I'm bad at the game, I spend more time out of the game than actually playing it. Please let me jump. Okay, that's funny. That we could jump. I thought we could. But, alright. So, these changes laid out the announcement address, the feedback above, as well as majority of other feedback we received in Discord via email. Before we dive into all the changes to the game, let's first get started with the release date and beta testing schedule. So we originally planned to release the game at the end of June, but recently realized that we would probably have to compete with the Steam Summer Sale. Valve specifically advised us not to release during the summer sale because all discoverable algorithms are switched from new games to games on sale. We thought about releasing sooner to avoid it, but we know there are many who hold off on purchasing new game in anticipation for the sale. I reduced our time for marketing and was slightly rushed release. Then the first couple weeks post-release would be drowned out by the sale. They also advertised not to release new games until about 2 weeks after the minimum after a summer sale ends. So this puts us towards the end of July / early August. We opt to follow the advice of Valve, so this will give us more time to spend on marketing the game, polishing it, testing it, and preparing for launch. We don't have the exact date yet, but you can expect around the time frame, which brings us to how you can help us out with that. No, we aim to continue testing beta test phases between now and release regardless of the release date. So my thoughts on that is don't rush your release. We'll tell you when it's ready. Like you said it, we'll tell you when it's ready. You think it's ready, that's not what you were originally going with. You were originally going with, we'll tell you when it's ready. We might not like all the changes you put in. Maybe we don't. You don't know. Just gonna say that. So let's just talking about beta testing now. With all the information above, we decided to change the way we're going to go about doing the testing. We're going to do a large sort of marketing beta with streaming and full experience available to play. The release stage adjusted, we would be too soon to do that, so we're opting for few short testing over the next few weeks to test different parts of the game. This will help us out collecting valuable data on gameplay changes, bugs, server stress, and different hunter versus survivor interactions over the last few weeks. Community members and the super helpful program friends will be helping us upgrade our community bot to help with the management of upcoming beta phases. The bot has several commands that can be used with the help with a community valuable information through the beta phase, so take notes. And I'm gonna have that up on the screen so you can take a look at that. That's if you're in the Discord of Hide or Die, you can use this if you're playing the beta, and it will help out greatly. These tests are critical for us to ensure a smooth launch, and we would appreciate your help in testing with us. These tests will be short, 1 or 2 days of affairs, so we can quickly quick on feedback. With that, we will not be reopening pre-orders at these testings are for our backers and previous pre-orders only. We understand that a lot of have been asking to pre-order the game and get access to our beta test, and we're thrilled to see the excitement and interest, but we want to honor the people who backed us early on for the exclusive privilege to be part of the development process. The first test is scheduled for Friday, May 31st at 8 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. CST. Our focus for the first one will be to test the survivors versus AI interactions, performance of that, and number of players our server can handle. The second one will have focus on surviving versus hunter interactions. The one after that will be a section of the Bale Country that will include objects collected darkness, escaping. Don't worry, we'll get into with all that meaning in a moment. This will be a very fair vertical slice of the full experience. Following that, we will be testing different areas of the Bale County to make sure each and every spot is polished and fun. The exact dates of these are to be determined and will be announced on our Discord. With two important sections of this update out of the way, we're now going to go into depth about all the different changes and features of Hide or Die. As we laid out in the previous update, the map size has expanded greatly. Previous players could complete one 190mm section at a time, but now the game takes place in a map which has approximately 1.2 kilometers of playable space. Below, we have worked in a process and image of the map that can access in-game. You do this by opening the map app on your phone. We think you enjoy the adventure of exploring the features of that is Bale County, West Virginia holds. And here they show the map in-game on your phone. It says location image above can be found below in the top right corner of the map. Hopefully it can give you some sense of the scale of the size of Bale County. So I will show you both images, one in-game and then show you the map for a little while. It's pretty vague. It's a big map. There's going to be a lot to explore. And then I'll show you a collection of some shots of Bale County so you can get the peeks into areas you will be exploring soon. So they show the lunch place. That's like the fair. That's the community map. And then you got a crashed plane with fire on trees and stuff. Then you got this weird, like, church place. And then you got like a junkyard, gravesite that looks awesome. Yeah, you can also see the two hunters in there, which I don't know why they have two in there. Maybe they're adding where you could be more than one hunter. That would be weird, but we'll see. Yeah. So one of the issues with especially horror genre with our previous beta test was queuing for a match to start. We have solved this issue by making Bale County a drop-in, drop-out, persistent world, made possible by our backer funding development of our dedicated servers. This will allow players to play solo, or with friends, or how you want, and when you want. Survive venture out for the safety of their bunker via hatches through Bale County with the mission to collect, extract dark stores before they can be used for malicious purposes. And here is one of the hatches. Many stories have been told about those who generate too much and were tempted to use them. Those who resist the urge will escape back to one of the bunker's entrances and destroy and get rid of the world of the darkness. Players are given the option to return to the world immediately to continue their mission or rest after a long night, or by returning to the menu and cash in their darkness for unlocks, upgrades, and cosmetics. This ensures that you can play as much or as little as you like without having to worry about queuing and matchmaking time. And there they show the bunker entrance, and there you go. Now we're going to talk about collecting darkness. So darkness is the reason you have to head out from the safety of your bunker. It's essential to taking out Bale County, and you're tasked with finding and destroying it. Collecting darkness has an important role in your progression as a survivor and playtime/playstyle as a hunter. The darkness gets converted into darkness points that will use for character progression, upgrading, locking perks. These are a few ways to collect darkness from the world. One of them, which is usually the easiest, is activating extractors, and that's what the extractor looks like. These have been built and installed across various areas which survivors live and work during the day. They help to extract and starve off a darkness from overtaking these areas. When you find one of these, you will interact with the keyboard to begin to activate it and complete a puzzle to power it on. Once it has been activated, it will begin extracting darkness for a short period of time. Depending on the rarity of the particular extractor, it will extract more and give a faster rate. Once it has completed extracting, it will eventually distribute to any nearby player the darkness has extracted. Hunters are alerted to the concentrated of the darkness and will try to steal it from you and your fellow survivors. And they show you a video of how it works. A slightly more difficult way to collect darkness is dealing damage when a hunter, AI, or a survivor takes damage. They will drop some of their darkness and drop all of it if they die. The drop darkness can be picked up by other nearby players. The drop of darkness works as more a readable hit marker so you know when you're dealt damage. AI, the final way to collect darkness is by venturing into the darkness sites area and killing AI at these darkness sites you find. The descent area of darkness, these darkness sites are essentially the old way you became the hunter in our early beta test phases. AI is found here, and by killing them, they will drop darkness for you to collect. This is probably the hardest way to collect darkness, as you have to make sure you have a well-equipped to fight them, or you may meet a untimely death. So they show a picture with someone with a shovel. I don't think that's the greatest way. Maybe you don't go to one of these sites with only a shovel. This did not turn out well. And then they show more of how the area looks, where you face AI and face the darkness to collect some. Here is a little snippet of AI spawning around a darkness site, killing them and picking up their dropped darkness. Some vegetation was hitting for this clip, so you can see things a bit clearer. Still some works in progress stuff in this clip. So they show you what the darkness looks like, how you get your own darkness, and more you get. Then they're talking about hunters now. Once you have collected enough darkness, you may have the urge to use it for evil instead of returning to the bunker and destroying it. If that's the case, you should head towards the nearest darkness site and find the center. Once you are there, you can choose to be corrupted into the hunter. Being the hunter definitely has some advantages for darkness collection. When you're damaging a survivor, they drop some of their darkness, and if you kill them, they will drop all of it. Catch a few in a group, and you will be spoiled with darkness. While you are the hunter, your darkness will slowly drain, so it's important that you find the nearest survivor and get the darkness. It can be hard to find survivors in such a large environment, but fortunately the hunter has something you call dark sight for now. When you enter this mode, it's deduct some of your darkness. You move a lot faster. You can not see survivor models. You cannot attack. You can see the general area a survivors is, and the amount of darkness they have. It only works at a distance, so once you get close enough, you want to use the various items and tools that each individual hunter has for finding them and killing the nearby survivors. In the video below, you will see what it's like to be for the hunter to use dark sight, especially when you enter the vision and the world becomes desaturated and survivors appear as portals then cut through the instructions. You will see the vision tell me there are two survivors and one much closer than the other because it is larger. That survivor has a ring of red on the outside edge and is noisier in the animation. This tells me how much darkness they are carrying. The survivor in the distance doesn't have any sort of red tint on its edge and has a softer animation, so that is informing me that she doesn't have any darkness. As you see, I approach the survivor in the distance. Eventually she no longer shows up if I get too close. Then I exit the vision and the world returns to normal and I'm allowed to attack again. In the next video, you will see what the survivors see when the hunter enters dark sight, moving around in and out and exiting it. Then poof out of the distance and leave a stalking trail behind them while they move. Once you start to exit dark sight, they slowly gather back into the form until they poof back into existence. Dark sight allows killers to take full control of interactions. They can decide whether or not to do surprise geared up survivors, yet have the ability to flee in this situation became too harsh. This pulls survivors into a defend-only position, giving the killer the full grasp of the interaction. If the things get too difficult for the hunter, they may want to partner up with another to take on large world group, so you can have more than one hunter. Now, this is gonna get fun. There are 3 ways to return to Survivor after you have become a hunter. Either time or damage taken forces your darkness down to 0. You get yourself killed. You manually return to Survivor with a key press. When you return to Survivor, you get forced into the dark site when you're roofed out for everyone, and then you return to your Survivor body at the same spot you became a hunter. An inventory you had previous is returned to you, and the darkness you collected while hunter you keep. This creates a playstyle where you can become a hunter, and who is in control that role changes often. Unless you are very good as hunter, where you could, in theory, definitely play as hunter as long as you want. A issue is in the genre is decided who plays hunter and survivor. Either you need a very large player base, or separated queues for survivors and killers are completely random assessment of roles. These both have their pros and cons, and we believe we have a system that has self-related the numbers of at any given time. If there aren't enough hunters in the match, there is a incentive for easy picking. If there are too many, they will self-regate and switch back to survivors since it is too difficult to find and kill survivors. Of course, there will be balance and tweaks that will need to be made to the system over time. Looting. Now, before you go ahead and get ahead of yourself and just run into the darkness sites and start killing AI, you need some weapons. I always do so. All throughout Bale County, you will find a cross various of weapons, items, ammos to help you on your mission to collect darkness, defend yourself against multiple hunters roaming the environment. Previously, there was a single darkness item in the world, so only one person could be a hunter at any given time. Now the darkness has spread, and there is multiple sites that have been overtaken and can be used, so you need to be well equipped. Loot will have either a common, uncommon, rare, very rare, or legendary status. As you can imagine, the more rare the loot, the more powerful and useful it is. So they'll show you some loot in this video. In the video below, you will see that there will still have supplies that you can collect. This grants you credits, which can be used in the menu to purchase cosmetic items like different phone cases, clothing, name tag banners, survivor heads, skins, etc. If you see them laying around, be sure to pick them up. And respawns. In an effort to make the game more playable with friends, reducing queue times and encouraging exploration will no longer be forced out of the game after death. When you die, you can give your option to respawn at a random hatch location, reset the inventory in darkness, or exit to the menu. The elimination of the last man standing game mode was a big reason for this as well. With that, you can no longer spectate as a crow. Difficult to control server population. Playable crows are still in the game, but we're keeping it a secret how you can access some features. Good luck. Hashtag Crow Gang for life. And then we're going to talk about projection. A very important feature we'll have at launch is the projection system. It has 3 core pieces of it. There is leveling, perking, and cosmetics. Leveling happens on a per character basis. Your survivor has a level, so you do each of your own hunters. You unlock hunters, each hunter's characters by leveling up your survivor. There are 7 hunters in total, and at launch we expect to have a minimum of 3 scientists, default hunter, fisherman, and a stitches. Each character will have 9 perks at launch. When you level up a character by playing them, you get access to a character-specific perk. Once you have gotten that access, you will use the Doctor's Place to unlock it, making it equipable. Once you have the perk unlocked, you can use Doctor's Place to upgrade it to level 2, level 3 perks. At the image below, you will see a snippet of the perk menu, which I'm showing on the screen, where you have to unlock perks called Pocket Ping. I have a lot equipped and upgraded soon to a level 2 perk. Finally, you will see that I reached a high enough level to unlock the advanced chip perk, but I haven't used Darkness Place to unlock it yet for my Science Hunter. Here is a work in progress shot of the Survivor menu where it displays your current number, Darkness Place, character level, and menus to access customization perks and appearances, gender, and hair color. We have enough shirts, pants, shoes, heads, and hair mesh for millions of unique survivors combinations and doesn't include hair color. Better collect all the supplies you can find. We have been making progress on getting all the backer faces into the game. It's tenuous and time-consuming undertaking, but we're really starting to see some great results in the screenshots below. You can see our backer Soul Kitty in-game. We also automatically match body skin tone based on each head mesh. So you see that? Now, this is important for backers. If you have included any t-shirt designs, your face, your graffiti images, etc., anything that you've given them, they are going to be sending out legal forms for you to sign saying you give them permission to use this, give them this and that kind of stuff. Pretty much just to cover their butts in case like anything comes about. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole update. They changed the game a lot. Hopefully it is good. I can't say anything until I haven't played it yet. I don't know if we can stream it or make videos about it. If I get any news, you'll see videos come up about it. I will probably be streaming if I can. And yeah, I look forward to the new update. See, maybe I like it. I don't know. I'm kind of worried that it gone too far away from a battle royale. It's not a battle royale anymore to me. Because you can drop in and out. There's no real loss to it. You can respawn. It looks like you go in and just collect darkness. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I had to play it and then I can experience it. So if you guys enjoyed this update, make sure you leave a like and also kick the shit out of the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see everyone in the next update or some higher dive videos. Alright, see you guys later.
Attention viewer, if you enjoyed that video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe.